Thank you. My name is Yadin David, and in this presentation, I would like to cover the application of forensic engineering methodology to medical product. The work has been done over the years but by many people, but I'm presenting to you the knowledge based on my own experience. Forensic engineering is relatively unknown field and actually combined of several definitions of forensic and engineering. Forensic is description come from the Latin language that address the task of performing a public debate or arriving at conclusion by presenting the evidence publicly. And engineering, you know, come from also Latin word, perhaps two words of engineer and ingenuity, which suggests that this is the creativity of a field that takes the knowledge of science and make an application to product, machine, services that making our life so much easier. So forensic engineering is a combination of skills and talents that are a crossroad between the ability to arrive at evidence through collection of information and testing and present the result and the conclusion in contrast to the alternatives in order to make the resolution safer or better, in our case, for patient care. This is very important for the healthcare consumers, i.e. patients, and also for the healthcare providers, for the physician, surgeons, anesthesiologists, nurses, and on and on and on, who are dependent on the technology to make sure that there is no adverse event and unintended outcome. So in the presentation today, I would like to make just a few points with the short time that I have. One is that hazards is part of our life. It comes in different quantification, different magnitude, but even as we drive our cars from our home to the office or to attend a site where this Congress is being presented, there is some risk, some hazard associated with driving the car because the wheels might be over pressure, the brakes might not be working well, the steering wheels is not very accurate, or the rear mirror is not working. And as you drive a car that's supposed to be very naive, intuitive, and simple product or simple contraption, suddenly things can happen. It become to be a risk associated with damage. So hazards involved with many things in our life. The question is how that relates to risk and how we control. So risk management and risk control, mitigating and minimizing it, is the work of the clinical engineers at the point of care. Hazard, as you can see on the right-hand side of the slide, relates to a person standing on the beach, enjoying the blue water and the wave, and seeing the triangle fin of a shark in the water. As long as the beachgoer, this guy standing on the sand, apparently this hazard is not having much potential to harm. But if somehow this individual, for unknown reason, decided to get into the water and now is swimming with the sharks, now the hazard turned into a risk because the likelihood of harms to be caused is very obvious. We, the clinical engineers, are like the lifeguards on the beach, on the sand. We are there to warn that this hazard might become a risk and prevent that from happening. Risk can come in three different sizes. In the probability that it will happen on the vertical side axis here, the amount of damage that might be happening if it will occur. So if it does occur, how much damage we might have. And the third one is the opportunity to discover it before it happened. So the discoverability, like the alarms on heart monitors, is helpful. We need to understand those three in the field of forensic engineering because the total risk management is depend on that. And if you look at the probability that something will happen, the damage that can happen might be minor. You can see something that is unlikely, very unlikely, with minor outcome has very little risk. But on the other hand, if we know something is almost certain or will happen, and the result will be catastrophic, you can see the red. So the green that you see in the scale suggests that things are under control. We have good risk control. The red saying that it's out of control. So let's see how we can move into the understanding of this presentation. What I would like to achieve in the time that is left is to let you know that it's the important function of improving medical product safe design, manufacturing, and use to avoid user error is through lessons learned from the analysis of unintended care events that cause negative outcome and where technological tools were deployed. This is the essence of the field of forensic engineering based on scientific methodology and principle of analysis like test and investigation that can help identify the cause-effect relationship and any existence between unintended outcome and the product that were used. This methodology is very important for forensic engineering talent to understand how to collect the data and how to use the appropriate methodology in identifying what might be the root cause and the theory that you can say, here's the evidence why we believe this is what happened and what might be the alternative design to make it better. If you look on this slide, what you see here is that the goal for this presentation is to educate and provide information to you about the field of forensic engineering and to assist clinical engineers to become familiar with the methodology and the engineering principle used during the investigation of unintended event that negatively impacted patient care. If you understand the methodology, collecting the information, interview user, testing the product, testing the surrounding environment of use, and draw to, in contrast to the state of knowledge and the state of the art relating to similar product, then you understand that those methods and tools used to identify the reasons for this failure can benefit by having the capacity to recognize and timely mitigate them from happening again. If you look at the annual report that the FDA received just in the US of medical device failure, you can see the sharp increase as we go from 2004, 2008, 2010 to 2018, that we are reaching now over 600,000 report of failure. Those need to be validated, of course, but that suggests that forensic engineering has much work to do in order to bring back the feedback how to improve design, manufacturing, and use. The development of risk mitigation skill in the field of forensic engineering, the competency to conduct the testing, the investigation, and the methodology of understanding can lead to the expansion of professional career in clinical engineering into a new practice we have not been interacted before. This facilitates your becoming a contributor to delivery of a safer patient care in hospitals as well as at home, and to gain professional satisfaction from knowledge that you're providing such a unique service that protect patient, as we all trying to do. I hope that I help you to better understand what the forensic engineering field is about, the principle of the methodology in the investigation and the testing, and how enjoyable the feeling can be if we'll incorporate that into our routine field of clinical engineering, knowing that we remove more risk, introduce safer product to the market. Thank you.